Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing a video ranking all of the brand new Mulan Funko Pops. So I had not seen Mulan prior to this video, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna educate myself here, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. So I went on Disney Plus and I watched the Mulan movie, and you know what, I thought it was really good. I'd give it about a 4 out of 5, I'd say. I think that it was a really well done film. The animation was amazing, but I wanted to do that because when I'm talking about these pops, I want to actually know what I'm talking about and who the characters are, so that's why I went ahead and did that. But for this video, we're going to be ranking all of the new figures. There were 5 of them that were revealed, and I will be rating each one out of a score of 5, and then we will be giving my want list for the wave, and then I'll be letting you know the final verdict for the wave, which will be out of 25, and then we'll translate that over to a percentage mark. So that's everything that you need to know for the video, so let's just get straight into it here with number 5.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Hun.
Alright, so at number 5 here we have Li Shane, and in the film he is Mulan's sort of romantic interest in the movie, and I really thought that he was quite good in it. I think this design is definitely very accurate to his character, so I really love how they were able to portray it in pop form. I really like the little cape that he has going on, his sword there, and just his stance overall looks very powerful there. He looks like he's ready to get into a fight, and of course that's his role in the film, because he's sort of their leader for their group in the war. So I think that that's very interesting. I like how his hair looks in this one too. His eyebrows are nice and thick. He just looks really cool. So I really like this pop, and I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 4.
Did they send me daughters when I asked for some?
Okay, so at number 4 we have the Mulan disguised as Ping. So of course this is kind of what Mulan looks like for a majority of the film, I would say. And that's also why I wanted to watch the film, because I would have no idea who Ping is or why Mulan is disguised as him. So I do know now in the film that she has to disguise herself as a man in order to take her father's spot in the war. So it's very interesting how she has to go through that, and I really think they portrayed her really well in this stance here. I like how her hand on her left side is kind of going up like that. It's almost like it's more of a, I don't know what you want to call it, but more of a feminine stance, I suppose. But then she's holding the sword, making herself more powerful in the battle, because of course that's kind of the main force going against her in the film, almost even more than the actual bad guy in it. But it's kind of just how women aren't allowed to participate in the war or take anybody's spot, and that's kind of what she's defined in the film, and she does a really great job at it. I mean, I'd argue, and I'm sure people would agree with me here, that she's probably ends up being the strongest one out of all of them in the war, and the smartest, of course. So I really enjoyed sort of her role as Ping in the film, and I think this outfit looks really great as well. I love that sort of sand green on her torso there. I think that looks really good, and her hair looks nice as well. You can see the little sort of like bob at the back there coming out a little bit. So I think this pop looks really great, a very well designed one for sure. So I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 5. And now let's move on to number 3.
You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet.
Alright, at number 3 here we have Mushu, but this is the 10-inch version of him. So this one's really cool. I normally don't put 10-inch pops that high in the list, but I feel like this one just looks awesome, and I really love it because the other Mushu pop in this wave is not the same sculpt as this one, so I really love how they were able to make the 10-inch a totally different sculpt from that one. In this one, he's holding the little cricket in the film, who I thought was super, super cute, and I really loved Mushu in the film as well. He was so expressive and just really funny throughout. So I really think this one looks great. And it's almost like getting a life-size one for us in our world, because of course in the actual pop world, this one's bigger than all the other characters, but in the film he's smaller. But if we purchase this one for ourselves, it would kind of be like a more accurately sized Mushu for us, and I really do like that. I like his pose there. He looks really just happy there, happy to be helping Mulan throughout the film. So for this one, I'm going to be giving it a 4 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 2.
Mr. I'll make a man out of you.
Okay, so at number 2 we have Mushu and with his gong, and this one's really cool here because he is actually holding the gong that he has at the sort of start of the film, I would say, where he has to awaken one of the dragon spirits, but he's unable to do that with it. So he winds up being the one who goes on the journey with Mulan, which is kind of funny, that scene where he kind of fakes with the dragon, like the stone head, to one of the, I don't even know what you would call them, just one of the ancient people there, one of the ghosts, and I think that that was just a really funny scene overall, so I really love this one. I like how even in his mouth it has a different sort of pose or actual like sculpting to it than the other one, because you can kind of see that it's open in this one instead of on the 10-inch being closed, and just overall I really love Mushu's design. I think that he just looks really fantastic, so this one's at number 2, and it's going to earn a 4.5 out of 5, and now let's move on to number 1.
Tranquil as a forest.
Alright, so at number 1 here we have Mulan on Khan, and I really like this one because I love the relationship between Mulan and her horse. I think that they have a really great bond throughout the film, and the horse comes into play quite a bit with saving her, especially in that scene with the avalanche. It definitely really helps quite a bit in that scene, and I really love the sort of sculpt that we get for Mulan in this one. She gets a totally different outfit than the other one, and she gets to let down her hair here to show her more feminine side, I suppose you could say, but I really love how it looks here. I love how it's waving, sort of as if they're in the wind here. I like the stance that they put Khan in. I think that that looks really powerful and like they're ready to go into battle, and I like how she has the sort of, I don't even know what you would call it, the almost like harness kind of wrapped around her to keep her on the horse. I like the little red highlights going around. The eyes are really nice with that sort of, I wouldn't call it teal, but almost like a lighter sand green, I would say. A lot of sand green going on, especially on the sort of harness on the horse as well. I just think this one looks really great. Has a fantastic pose here, so I really love how dynamic that is. And for this one, it's going to earn a 5 out of 5 for me. And now let's move on to my want list for the wave.
Fire within. Once you find your center.
Alright, so even after watching the film Mulan, which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved the film. I thought that it was really well done, and the animation was fantastic. But for this wave, you may be surprised to know that there's actually none that I would put on my want list right now. The only one that I could say is maybe a possibility if it were to go on a really good sale is probably Mulan on Khan, because I really do love that pop design there with her on her horse. So I think that that one could definitely be a possibility if it was like a very good deal, like something like ridiculous. Like if it was like $10 or something like that, I would pick it up, but it's probably going to be about, I'd assume this is like a pop ride, so it'll be like $40 here in Canada, so that would be quite expensive, so I'm probably going to pass on most of these pops. I still think Mushu looks really great, but it's just that I don't really feel like I need any of these in my collection, but I still really enjoy the designs of all of them, and I still really love the film. So that's it for my want list here, and now let's move on to the final verdict for the wave.
You are sure to win. You're a spineless tail.
Alright, so this wave here out of a score of 25 earned a 20.5, and that translates over to a percentage of 82. So that is a really fantastic score for this wave. I think that it did really well. I really love the colors that they're going with throughout this wave, and I just think that the sculpts are really well done. I really love Mushu. I love how they were able to make the 10-inch version a different sculpt or mold, because I think that it's just so boring when they just sort of make a standard one just into a bigger sculpt. I just think that's a little bit lackluster and just sort of unimpressive and unoriginal, but I think that it still looks really great, and I just really love the Mulan pops in this one, both of the versions of her, and I think Li Shane looks really great as well. So overall, I think this wave is just really fantastic, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the Funko Pops in this wave, and let me know your thoughts on the movie Mulan, and I'm really interested to hear all of that, and I'm always interested to hear what your rankings are, because it's always fun to sort of compare and see if we have the same ranking or if it's just completely different. Who knows? I mean, your favorite could be Li Shane. I'm not too sure, but you gotta let me know down below in the comments section. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my future content or see some of my older content as well. I have a bunch of various ranking videos on the channel, so be sure to check out some of those that may interest you. But thank you so much once again. I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.